All right, I believe I'm live. So welcome back. All right, to another wrestling talk. All right, this time I'll be reviewing um, Tuesday's Smackdown Live. No, the WWE has split their brand in half. Okay. Hey, for anyone out there, either in the chat or comment section, whatever, can you explain to me how I can check the chat? I have no idea. Right, so if anybody's commenting in the chat, I have no idea. Put it in the comment section. Also, I am looking for someone co-hosting once in a while. It doesn't have to be the same person all the time, but I wouldn't mind a co-host or two around this time, right? To talk about these wrestling videos, right? And that's that. Now I know. I got a lot of my happy. They don't like wrestling, right? But it's all good. It's all good. Just don't watch the video, right? It's as simple as that. So anyway, they start off SmackDown, the blue brand. Look at this, with Kane versus Wyatt, right? And of course, since they're trying to make Wyatt out to be a god and this indestructible force, they had him utterly destroy a completely irrelevant Kane, right? Right? Well, no, Kane actually won the match. He won the match. Count out. Very, very clever WWE. I mean, six figures, people. I want you to think about that every time you see these storylines. 6 figures. That's how, like, these writers are paid. I got a brilliant idea, Vince. We should have Wyatt. You know, we want to make him look strong. Let's make him lose to Kane on the opening of SmackDown right before his match with Randy Orton. That's a brilliant idea. Up with this. Kane, 50 years old. I beat the shit out of him. You know, so he could destroy Kane, and that's as good. That's all Kane is good for now. What are you gonna do with Kane? Like, is Kane some viable, you know, like come on, man, this shit's ridiculous. Right? Anyway, nobody could take Wyatt serious. I mean, it's one of the best characters that the WWE has. One of the best guys in the mic. He's pretty decent in the ring. All right, and anything with him is one of the best characters that they've got. And they're doing nothing but destroying this character. Like, haven't you done enough? You've already jobbed him out to John Cena at WrestleMania a couple years ago. You've already made him lose every big match imaginable. Does he still have to lose to Kane on SmackDown? If Bray Wyatt doesn't beat Randy Orton, it's a waste of time. It's you completely destroyed the Bray Wyatt character. Someone who he's young, he could still serve you well for the next 10 years. Hell is Jack Swagger on the fucking TV? What is it about Jack Swagger? Why is Jack Swagger on my television? Corbin, like, they're trying to, like, well, see, this is the problem, man. Everything's so impromptu. Two guys can just have an argument, like why is Jack Swagger feud with Corbin? Like, why? Just because? Just are they trying to imply that they're the two top dogs in the yard, and this place ain't big enough for both of us? Get the fuck out of here! It's not that. It's definitely not that. So what? Why are they having this intense feud all of a sudden? Why? Because they're both tall? Is that why? Like, what? Who writes this shit? You know, these guys are paid 6 figures to write this shit. Think about it. If Vince McMahon is going to pay somebody that much for content, why does he pay me that? I can write horrific content too. I'm willing to bet half of the people that listen to the storyline than that, you know? So, you know, I understand, oh, it's a soap opera. It's a soap opera, and we got to feed into the soap opera. Fuck that. It's a dumb feud. It's an irrelevant, impromptu feud. Oh, I got an idea, Vince. Just think about it. Like, they have meetings about this stuff. Vince, I got a brilliant idea. What is that? Corbin is going to run into Swagger in the back. They're gonna talk shit, and then they're gonna have a match right after that. Right? Who writes this shit? Who writes this shit? By the way, what's with all the lighting? I know I talked about it on Raw, but why is it still like? I thought it was going to be two different extinctive brands, right? I thought they were going to both be completely different, opposite from one another. Why does it still feel like Vince McMahon is running the show? Got to make the shows feel different, right? You just got to. There's obvious differences about them. I think SmackDown's a little better, but it's still, you got the same lighting. It's just blue instead of red in the rampway. You still have the lighting in the fucking floor when they're walking. You have the same in the rampway. The stage looks a little different. You know, they have some, ooh. Instead of a big screen, we'll put a bunch of little screens. It's just like dumb shit. You know, and it's just blue. That's it. Come on. What's all the lighting? Why do the why do the ring posts have lighting? I don't get it. And why do you have to do, if you do it on one show, why does the other show have to have it too? Why does the WWE title have to look the same, or is the other way around? Why does the Universal title have to look exactly the same, just red, like the WWE title? The women's title on Raw have to look the same as the women's title on SmackDown. Why? I thought you were trying to be different. This shit's insane. And of course, next segment, right? Bray Wyatt is walking in the back, trying to look all creepy, trying to look all tough after he lost the match with Kane. I mean, think about that. He lost the match. I know it's by count out, but he lost against Kane. They're trying to look all tough in the background. Anyway, Alexa Bliss, who, you know, she's all right. I mean, I still think Becky Lynch is hotter, but that's me. Right? Everybody will have their own opinion about that. Becky Lynch, Alexa Bliss, they're going to be wrestling No Mercy for the SmackDown's Women's Championship. I think it was a mistake to have the women's division, two different women's divisions, when you only have like 10 women wrestlers in your whole fucking roster, right? I mean, this shit's stupid. She has a match against Nikki Bella. The match is okay, all right? Carmella comes out and interferes. And then what? Impromptu, right? We have an impromptu match out of nowhere. All of a sudden, a match between the women. Carmella and Alexa Bliss end up winning. They heal it up a little bit. Big deal, right? Not a big deal. Let's talk about these divisions really quick. Why the hell, like, in my opinion, they should have had maybe the women's division either on SmackDown or Raw, and then the other brand had the tag team division. That's what they should have done. They should have had maybe the women's division on SmackDown, and then on Raw just have the tag team division. That's it. That way you have a women's roster of at least 10 women, and you have something to work with for a good year. You got a mix of matches you can do. Where now they're running thin here. Okay, they're already running thin. I mean, practically the whole roster, the whole SmackDown roster was in a 4-man tag match, a 4-woman tag match right now. It's just too much. It's just that they don't have the depth for it. They just don't. All right. They just don't. I mean, just imagine all these women in this. You know, I think it would have worked out better. That's my opinion. right? Right? I think it should be this simple. It should have been WWE Champion on Raw or SmackDown, Intercontinental Champion on SmackDown, and then Tag Team Division, right? Or Women's Division, one or the other. And then on Raw, okay, you have Universal Champion, U.S. Champion, and then whether it's Women's or Tag Team Division. And then, of course, since they have 3 hours, right? So that's what they should have done. That's not what they did. Fuck them, right? Fuck them all. Whatever, right? I will say, though, Becky Lynch, Alexa Bliss, it feels a lot more fresh, okay, than Charlotte, okay, and the Boss, right? But I will say, though, as of right now, the women on Raw, in my opinion, that they've had more memorable moments, right? I mean, they just have. So they've been on the main events on Raw and stuff like that, where SmackDown, they don't feel confident enough yet to put the women in the main event. So I think that speaks volumes so far. That's my opinion, right? So anyway, enough of the impromptu tag match and all that bullshit, okay? More Randy Orton in the back, okay, playing mind games with Bray Wyatt and the third, okay? If all this does not lead to Bray Wyatt defeating Randy Orton, right, then you're destroying Bray Wyatt's character, right? Many people agree that Bray Wyatt is capable of being one of the best characters in the history of the WWE. Some have even called him perhaps the best character that they've ever had, okay? I wouldn't go that far myself, right? But he's up there. The potential is up there. You know, different people have said it, whether Chael Sonnen has said that. You know, he's a wrestling fan. JR has said that. Paul Heyman has said that. Okay, several great minds that really follow wrestling have all agreed to that. Randy Orton has had a good career. He does not need that victory. He would do perfectly fine if he were to put Bray Wyatt over. It would not hurt Randy Orton whatsoever. Randy Orton has to lose that match, right? Unfortunately, I feel that they're probably going to have him win since he's coming off a loss to Brock Lesnar. I don't know, whatever, okay? It's just dumb, just dumb shit, right? I don't know. I don't even know what to say about that, right? So, Daniel Bryan, look, I don't know if this makes me a bad person or a heel or anything like that. It's nothing against these women that conquered breast cancer. It's nothing against them. I don't have anything against them, okay? I have a problem with the WWE or patting themselves on the back a little too much, right? Because of the donations that they've made and contributions that they made to charity, right? Kind of defeats the purpose a little bit. It doesn't mean you didn't help anybody, but it just comes off that way, you know? And in something like wrestling, where you're trying to put talent over and stuff like that, you want to be careful about that because I don't think there's much to win or gain out of that, to be honest, in my opinion, right? All right, excuse me. Had a sneezing moment there, allergies. So that's the thing, right? I mean, I remember they would do this a lot with John Cena. You know, John Cena's the face of the company, the one they want to push. And they would put him out here with these cancer survivors. And I mean, nobody's going to be booing him then, you know, but it just comes off as, okay, they're trying to put the guy over. Right? They're trying to put him over. They're trying to make the fans like him, you know, doing montages with him and the troops. And that's the way it comes off, you know. So I just don't think they should do it. That's my opinion, you know. If they want to do a private event where they give these women these titles and let the press and the media report about it, that's what they should do, right? That's my opinion. Okay, it's a nice gesture. Yeah, it's fine. But I'm just saying that's the way I see it, man. Okay, and to say that they're not doing it to pat themselves in the back, I think it's a stretch. I think they are, right. Um, anyway, Jack Swagger, Corbin, obviously, was another match. It was an okay match, but before I get to that, actually, there was a tag match, which I just don't care about, right? I just don't care about that tag match whatsoever. So we're just gonna skip forward through that. Okay, I don't care, right? The Ascension, I can't take them serious. I just can't. I'm sorry. Okay, they're stalking other tag teams all of a sudden. Okay, fine, right? It is what it is, right? SmackDown, it's a lot smoother than Raw. Okay, it's not as long, which is a good thing. That's my opinion. All right. The next segment was actually a good segment. I liked it. I'm not a big fan of The Miz. I'm not. Okay, but this feud with Dolph Ziggler has been a good feud. I like it. I like the storyline. I like the stakes. I really do. Now, it's kind of questionable that Dolph Ziggler is putting his career on the line while The Miz only puts the Intercontinental title on the line. It's kind of a big stretch there. It's not even the world title, but fair enough, right? I'll take it. Dolph Ziggler right now is doing some of the best. I know this is going to be a stretch, but I think he's doing some of the best mic work he's done in a while, right? I mean, he's had it, ever since the brand extension, even before that, but, he became number one contender, again, through an impromptu fashion, but that's another discussion, right? Dolph Ziggler, he failed to get the title at WrestleMania. He failed to get the title against The Miz about 2 times already, the Intercontinental title, after failing to get the world title. And now he said, hey, give me one more chance. I'll put my career on the line. And he's done some really good promos, right? The Miz did some montages there of Dolph Ziggler and all his embarrassing moments throughout his career. I didn't even know Dolph Ziggler was in the Spirit Squad. I had no clue. Right? So that was kind of embarrassing, The Miz has been doing some really good mic work himself as well. He really has. I'm kind of just a little bit impressed with him, actually. The Miz has never been terrible on the mic. His problem is he doesn't look believable, in my opinion, right? He doesn't look very believable whatsoever. By the way, the Intercontinental title, in my opinion, is perhaps the best looking title in that entire roster, right? And I do want to know, what do you guys think? What is the best looking title? In my opinion, it's the Intercontinental title. That's been perhaps my favorite title since, like, that version of the Intercontinental title forever, right? That's the old school title, man. That look is the one Bret Hart had, Mr. Perfect, the Ultimate Warrior, the whole nine, right? The Honk Tonk Man. That's my favorite right there. I don't remember that the Stone Colds and the Triple H's had that look. I think they had the other one, but nonetheless, right? Stuff by Dolph Ziggler. He put his career on the line. He's really selling the emotion. He's putting on the line here, and to be honest with you, this is a good way to turn shit around for him, right? I think he needs an Intercontinental title run, right? He needs to defend the title a couple times to bring his name back up and to eventually become a contender for the world title, right? Because the WWE has dropped the ball with Dolph Ziggler way too many times. One of the best workers in the game, right? Puts on some of the most exciting matches in WWE, and they have not done a good job with him whatsoever. But a lot of passion by both guys. They did a great job. Dolph Ziggler's doing a great job selling doubt and stuff like that. But when he talks, sounds confident, and his expression sells doubt. when the Miz tells him, no, I'm going to retire you. Spirit Squad comes out, embarrasses Dolph Ziggler, and then they proceed to beat the shit out of him. I don't know. Wasn't explained. Like, did the Miz pay them? Like, what? You know, it's just one of those things, right? They don't quite explain why, unless I missed it. And of course, the Miz is just had fun with the whole thing. Dolph Ziggler turned it around, started beating up the Spirit Squad guys or whatnot, right? And then the Miz comes in, boom, and then bam, gets out of the ring, whatnot. Dolph Ziggler looks strong. That sometimes is a sign that he's going to lose. So I don't know, man. It's one of those things, right? Is he going to retire? You know, I've heard rumors that his contract's expiring, right? So while I'm 90% sure he's going to win, I mean, we don't know. What if this is the end of Dolph Ziggler? I don't know if it is or it isn't, right? Anyway, Bray Wyatt is stuck in some room, garage thingy, in a rocking chair, trying to look intimidating. I don't know. This whole storyline with Randy Orton, I don't know. I just know he has to win at No Mercy, okay? That's honestly all I know, and that's honestly all that matters, okay? All right, the Usos and American Alpha. Okay, let's talk about their feud a little bit here. There was a one-on-one match of one of the Usos and one of the American Alpha guys. Okay, I apologize. The names, kind of slipped me. But they had a one-on-one match. They're really doing a – do you see how the Usos were getting old and played out? And then what did they do? They turned them heel, right? They turned them heel, and all of a sudden the Usos are actually interesting. I mean, I used to hate the Usos. Now I tolerate them. I'm like, all right. I dig the attitude. I think the whole, attacking the legs and the knees and injuring their opponents purposely and this, that, and the third. I dig that, right? And make them interesting. So why don't they do this with Roman Reigns? Turn him heel, right? Why don't they turn John Cena heel? I don't get it, right? But in this case, they did the right thing, turning them heel, right? I think a lot of this is setting up a big American Alpha right now, they're waiting for the right time to give them tag team championships, right? They're going to give them the tag team titles. They are by far the best tag team, in my opinion, in the entire WWE roster. That's both Raw and SmackDown. They're terrific athletes, right? Work well together, very good chemistry in the ring. They're the best tag team, bar none, right? Yes, they're better than the New Day, okay? Gallows and Anderson are probably come the closest, okay? They probably give them the best competition, skill-wise in the ring, right? I believe the Usos will beat the Odd Couple, right? Beauty and the Beast, whatever you want to call them, Rhino and Mr. Double White over here. Okay, the one-man man. I think they're gonna beat them at No Mercy, and that's gonna set up I believe at Survivor Series for the Usos and American Alpha, and I believe that's when American Alpha will win the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. I think that's what they're setting up right now, right? I think that's what they're setting up, right? So that's my opinion, right? Right now, again, this is really foreshadowing. I think having the Usos constantly get the better of them in a sleazy fashion, it's they're healing it up perfectly. It's going to set up a big pop. I predict whenever American Alpha beat the Usos, so I believe they will beat for the Tag Team Championships, more than likely at Survivor Series, there will be a big pop in that arena. And it's going to make it all worth it in the end. Right? More Bray Wyatt in a room, in a rocking chair, or a little garage thingy, trying to look intimidating. Dude, you just lost your match to Kane earlier. Like, you don't scare me. Like, there's nothing intimidating about Bray Wyatt, who lost to 50-year-old King. I'm sorry, right? Um, whatever. Kind of weird, man. Randy Orton he's all trying to. He goes and hold on. He's gonna open it. He's gonna open the door, garage door, and Bray Wyatt is not there. Bray Wyatt disappeared. I couldn't see that coming whatsoever. All right. People asking on Twitter, how did he disappear? Well, when the cameras weren't showing, somebody let him out. You don't think Bray Wyatt could pass through walls, do you? Right? That's how he got out. But I get it. Kayfabe, how did he get out? I don't know. Right? Anyway, they're really promoting this John Cena, Dean Ambrose, AJ Styles. AJ Styles is my favorite wrestler in the SmackDown roster. Right? He's been my favorite wrestler, period. Right? On Raw, it's Dean Ambrose. On SmackDown, it's AJ Styles. Okay. Now, AJ Styles, you got to give the man props, man. You got to give him props because he dealt through, like the bullshit. Like, it's the WWE. I don't know if anybody's noticed this. Right? They go through this like stage with guys where it's almost like they got to earn, like a fraternity. It's like you're joining a fraternity when you sign with the WWE, right? And you got to show that you're one of the boys by putting over some of their superstars. Have you ever noticed that? Brock Lesnar, when he came back, what did they do? He had to lose to John Cena in his first match back. He just had to. And then we'll go ahead and make you out to be a big, devastating monster. AJ Styles, look at Sting. Sting came back. He had to lose to Triple H in his first match. It's just the way it goes. You got to, even Sting, you got to earn your stripes here. It's, if you want to join the fraternity and be one of the boys, if you want to play ball. It's like the WWE's insurance policy. In case any of these guys ever walk out, they can say, hey, well, look, John Cena beat him. Triple H beat him. That's what it is. Okay? It's just insecurity by the fucking company, right? It's all kayfabe. I don't know why they're so insecure about it. Seriously, it's all scripted anyway. People know that, But anyway, else comes in. He's got to lose to Chris Jericho at WrestleMania. He's got to lose twice to Roman Reigns in back-to-back pay-per-views, right? And then, all right, we'll have him beat Cena after that. After we jobbed him out, like 3 straight pay-per-views in a row. It just doesn't make sense. But credit to him. I mean, look at him now. Credit to him. Look at him now, man. Right? He beat John Cena clean, which not a lot of people get to do. Right? He's gotten better on the mic. He honestly has. Now, he may have gotten better before the WWE, right? But I don't know. I hadn't watched AJ Styles in like 5-6 years before he came back. And he was terrible on the mic then. So I don't know if it's just between now and then he's got a little better. Right? I don't know. Right? But he's definitely, from what I saw 5-6 years ago, AJ Styles, he's not like, look, I'm not going to say he's not Ric Flair on the mic or some shit. He's not Roddy Piper on the mic. Don't get me wrong. Okay. But he's fairly decent, Nick. It's passable. And at that, with his incredible in-ring talent, it's a no-brainer, right? Even though he was an indie wrestler, a guy who wrestled in Japan and spent a bulk of his time in TNA, I believe he was in Ring of Honor for a little bit, right? Even though the WWE likes to bury guys like that, he really made AJ Styles, Roman Reigns, and even Chris Jericho at WrestleMania, right? Look at him now. He's actually the WWE champion. After all that, it's like, all right, the hazing, because that's what they do. It's like fucking hazing. After all the hazing, okay, all right. We'll let you, we'll tell you what, all right? To make it up to you, you could beat John Cena clean at SummerSlam, right? And they did. He got over John Cena clean at SummerSlam. He defeated Dean Ambrose at Backlash. I personally, though, I don't like the fact that he won the title at Backlash. I'm not complaining that he won the title, right? But he should have won the title at one of the major pay-per-views. That's my opinion. They should have waited till Survivor Series to give him the title, right? They should have had him beat John Cena at SummerSlam, right? Have him feud with somebody else in the meantime, right? Beat that guy, right? And then around this time, he should be at the cusp of getting a title shot, and they should have done it at a bigger pay-per-view. That's my opinion. I'm not complaining about it, but I'm just saying, right? My opinion. Right. In fact, they should have probably done it at SummerSlam, to be honest. Right? They should have had him do it at SummerSlam. Now that I think about it, that's actually better. Right? If they would have had AJ Styles win it at SummerSlam, and then maybe at No Mercy defend it against John Cena or something like that. I don't know, but hey, the John Cena win was big for him, so it is what it is. I'm not big on John Cena. I'm a big John Cena critic. But when you beat John Cena clean, right, to me, that's like a rub from Vince McMahon. That means Vince likes you, right? Vince trusts you. Not many guys get to beat John Cena clean, right? Like no interference, no nothing like that. Right? No cheating. He kicked out of an AA off the top rope. So that was big, right? That said, right? I don't know, man. Who the hell is this guy? Trying to figure out who this guy is. They're doing this promo about him. I have no idea who this dude is. Okay, Kurt Hawkins. Like why is he debuting at a fucking pay-per-view? Like, I don't give a shit who that guy is. Fuck that guy. Right? I don't give a damn. Right? Corbin versus Jack Swagger. The controversial ending. It wasn't. I liked it. I always kind of wanted to see that ending. Believe it or not. Right? I always wanted to see that ending where a guy's reaching for the ropes, right? And because when you're trying to reach for the ropes, you hit the mat and you keep reaching, and it looks like you're tapping out. And that's what happened to Corbin here. It was kind of a clever ending. Again, they go to commercial break during the match. Why don't you go to commercial breaks while they're walking out to the ring? I mean, again, these questions. I know why, because they spent so much money in the production. Well, we got to see him walk out to the ring. Look at all the lighting. Corbin loses in controversial fashion, right? Even though I'm not digging the feud, I dug this ending. It does make things a little more interesting, right? Corbin, he's upset. He struggled to throw the the steps. I mean, that was just hilarious. This big dude struggling to throw the steps and stuff. Funny shit. Okay. All right, so let's move on here. AJ Styles, he walks out to the ring, the phenomenal one, right? Dean Ambrose soon follows. And then, of course, John Cena comes out, right? Dean Ambrose is he's trying to be controversial. He's trying to be edgy with his mic work. All right, so I dig it a little bit. I can't complain too much. John Cena is kind of just in the mix to give the match a little more validity. I don't think he's going to win. John Cena, I believe, is going to be gone for a while. Maybe it's not likely he's going to win this match. But they're just kind of putting him in the mix here. I mean, John Cena got a title shot just because he's John Cena. All right, it's just strange how that works. right? AJ Styles, again, kind of just there, but what I liked was the Dean Ambrose kind of shoot style attack on John Cena, kind of basically not just insinuating, but flat out saying that John Cena is a backstabber, a politician in the back, an ass kisser. You know, he buries people behind the scenes. That he only helps people that kiss his ass in the back. John Cena really had nothing to say. Instead, talk is cheap, and then he tackles Dean Ambrose. He AAs AJ Styles, throws Dean Ambrose out of the ring. Yada yada yada. He holds the belt. He takes his shirt off. Which I don't understand. Okay, then he holds the belt up, and I believe the champ is here. AJ Styles does the phenomenal forearm off the top rope. He holds the belt up. He walks out of the ring. Dean Ambrose attacks AJ Styles, and then he's the one left standing, which has me believe AJ Styles is going to be winning at No Mercy. I don't believe they're going to be putting the title back on Dean Ambrose. It didn't really work out with Dean Ambrose having the title. Okay? It didn't quite work out. I think they have a little more faith with AJ Styles having the title, especially given the fact that pay-per-view after pay-per-view after pay-per-view, whether he won or he lost, AJ Styles matches always stole the show. And it didn't even matter if you put him with someone who sucks like Roman Reigns. In his matches, the show stealer of the night. All right, so with that, simply SmackDown, right? No Vince McMahon, not Vince, no Shane McMahon around, unless I missed it. I didn't see him around, right? No, not much of Daniel Bryan around, which I kind of like. I don't want to see the authority figures hogging the spotlight. I just don't want to see it. Less is more, right? That way, when a Shane McMahon walks out, it means more. It means something. Or Daniel Bryan walks out, it means something. You know, Daniel Bryan's a commissioner. He runs shit, right? We should not see him that often. Maybe once per SmackDown. Shane McMahon should be seen even less than that. Shane should come out when a big announcement has to be made, or just something big that he needs to intervene. Like one of those, like, I got to get the job done myself type of thing, right? That's when Shane McMahon needs to come out. That's when he has to do it. All right? So that's SmackDown. All right? 2 hours, a lot shorter. I believe a wrestling show should be 2 hours. And when you factor in commercials, it's anywhere between an hour and 20 minutes to an hour and 30 minutes or something like that, maybe even less than that, of the actual show, right? So when you go back and watch it on DVR and fast forward to the commercials, you're not spending that much of your time on it, right? And you fast forward to the ring walks, it's even less than that. During the matches anyway, all right? But anyway, great. It's a pretty decent SmackDown show. It's just decent, all right? I do enjoy SmackDown a little more than Raw. I think it has a lot to do with just being 2 hours. It has a lot to do with AJ Styles being in the show and being a champion. I'm kind of upset they didn't have a main event match. You know, was Corbin and like Jack Swagger really? Like, is that really what you wanted to end the show with as a match-wise? I don't know about that. That's kind of dumb. I believe that was the last match anyway. But anyway, that's just not something you want to do, man. So that's just my opinion, right? Overall, I feel the same about the lighting. I feel the same about all that shit. I'm getting tired of that. SmackDown has the same problem. Even though I'm saying I enjoy it a little more, it's a little better. It's almost by default, right? Because it's a shorter show. It flows better. Just a couple of things are better, right? But overall, though, it still feels WWE-ish. It still feels, it's going to be WWE-ish, whatever, either way, but it feels like Vince McMahon is still in the back directing this, right? You know, like when you watch a movie, Spielberg does a movie, you find out he's the one producing it or directing it. Just think about your favorite producer, your favorite director, and when you watch their movies, you know, that feel you get of the movie. When Clint Eastwood does a movie, there's this kind of a style of producing that movie. It just cries out, "This is a Clint Eastwood movie," right? This is definitely, you know, Spielberg right here, right? I still get the same feeling on both Raw and SmackDown. This has Vince McMahon written all over it, right? Both shows, on both shows, right? Once in a while, you'll get like one of those, like, I guess Triple H in the back convince Vince McMahon to do something, or, you know. But overall, though, it's always Vince McMahon. It feels like he's the director here, right? I just get the feel that he's better at directing 2 hours than 3, right? Because it's easier to do. That's how I feel. It feels small, right? So, like, think of it this way. You know the Batman movies? Of course you do, right? You got the Dark Knight movies, right? Batman, Dark Knight Rises. Forgot the name of the director of that movie, but I forgot the name of both directors, but stay with me. And then, of course, you have remember the 1989 Batman and Batman Returns? Remember those 2 movies? Look at the difference between those 2 movies. Put aside which ones you like more or whatnot. That's irrelevant right now. But the 1989 Batman, it just felt like it was inside a studio. You know what I mean? That's how it felt. It felt like it was just, Gotham didn't feel that big. You know, it just didn't. You know, and that's how the WWE feels right now, right? It's not like the Dark Knight movies that feels larger than life. That while you're watching the movie, you feel like Gotham is this huge city. You know, it's just a style of directing here. And doesn't want the WWE to feel like a sport. He doesn't, right? Vince McMahon has never been, going to be a shocker to a lot of people, but Vince has never been a fan of professional wrestling. He doesn't feel like talking to people about the holds and what or whatnot and the counters and who's doing what. He's never felt that sells. He's never felt that matters. He's never been a fan of that. I think that bores him. Okay, Vince has always been a fan of drama, and he has a sick, twisted sense of humor, which shows in the comedy of the WWE, right? I think he's far better at drama than comedy, but he kind of does both. And that's like the Corbin Jack Swagger thing. Like, Vince thinks, right, that people don't care why they're wrestling as long as that there's drama behind it, right? Well, all that matters is that they don't like each other. And it's not about the wrestling match. It's about 2 guys that don't like each other and they're settling in the ring, right? Vince has this idea. This is just my theory, right? He wants to produce a show, wrestling. Okay, he doesn't want to produce a wrestling show. You know, he just doesn't. So the problem with both Raw and SmackDown is that both shows are directed by Vince McMahon, right? That's the problem. Right now, if you wanted to make this work, like if you honestly wanted to make it work, right? SmackDown should be talking smack about Raw, should be talking down on the talents. Raw should be doing the same thing. When Raw has a low rating, okay, SmackDown should brag about it. When Raw beats SmackDown in the ratings, they should say something about it. They shouldn't promote each other's shows during their own broadcast. They shouldn't do any of that, right? They're supposed to be competing against one another. And it does not feel at all like they're competing against one another. It just feels like they're two sister or brother brands, okay, that travel together and just put on shows on different nights. That's all it is, right? We just split the carnival in half. We're not two competing carnivals, right? So that's how it feels, right? I don't even think SmackDown and Raw, right? I don't even think they should be near each other. SmackDown was at Los Angeles, right? And I'm sorry, Raw was in Los Angeles. SmackDown was in San Diego today. They're obviously traveling together. They shouldn't even be traveling together. Right now, SmackDown should be over there in the East Coast or something, right? That's where they should be. They should not be traveling with Raw. Now, I get it, right? It's not my company, and it's probably going to cost them a lot more money to do that. But if you want to sell this as, hey, we're two completely different entities, we're two competing brands, then you got to sell it that way. That's my opinion. That's one man's opinion. That's it. Right? I don't know. When you watch, a lot of people say, well, watch NXT. I don't always watch NXT. I'll watch it once in a while. But you could just tell, just by watching NXT, that Vince McMahon is not the editor. Or not the editor, I'm sorry. He's not the director of that show. You could just tell. It's way too professional wrestling to be Vince McMahon, right? See, what happened is Vince inherited, right, a wrestling company from his father, right? His father was a wrestling promoter, right? So that, see, Vince, over the years, has tried to turn wrestling into sports entertainment, right? That's just his philosophy, right? Vince at WrestleMania doesn't want a great match. He wants WrestleMania moments. So that's the problem, in my opinion, with the WWE, right? With that's all that's really all I got for tonight. Thanks for those that join me live and stuff. Tell me what you think. I'll be doing these every week, right? It's like a new thing covering this wrestling thing. It's. I'll admit this. It's people cover wrestling. It's not as easy as you think. It's like a weird thing, wrestling. It just is, but it is what it is. Plus, I mean, I still gotta learn some of these names, to be honest with you. Well, that's it. This is D-Style Boxing, right? Covering wrestling, right? And anyone's interested in co-hosting or whatnot next week for Raw or SmackDown, let me know, and we can do a hangout after Raw, after SmackDown, etc. Right? Around this time, anyway. Peace out.